Welcome back to the DAAG Virtual 2020 webcast. And now we're going to the Sdp 2020 Awards. And for that, Mr. Pat Leach, who's president of Sdp. Pat?
Thanks, Dave. Hi, I'm the president of the Sdp, and I'm also one of the co-chairs of this conference, which I hope that you're enjoying. At this time, I'd like to introduce the Sdp Hero Awards. There's an old saying in business that what gets rewarded gets done. I'd like to tweak that a little bit and say what gets awarded tells you a lot about the values of the organization. We have 3 Hero Awards that we give out on an annual basis. There's the Recruiter Award because we want the organization to grow. We have the Volunteer Award to recognize those who volunteer their time to propagate good decision practices. And we have the Pioneer Award, which recognizes individuals whose work has had profound impact on the discipline of decision science and decision professionals. So at this time, I'd like to turn it over to Ias Radad, the chair of the Sdp Awards Council. Ias?
Thank you, Pat. Welcome to the 2020 Sdp Hero Awards. My name is Ias Radad. I serve on the Sdp board, and I also chair the Awards Council, a responsibility I dearly cherish. It is my privilege to introduce the winners of the 2020 Sdp Awards, starting with the Recruiter of the Year Award. This award honors accomplishments in expanding the base of Sdp membership and sponsor organizations. A broader membership base and a strong Sdp is a foundational contributor to the mission of Sdp in advancing decision quality in a broad range of organizations in the profit, nonprofit, and public sectors, and advancing the profession of decision analysis to meet the challenges of organizations, societies, and mankind. And it is my privilege today to announce that the 2020 Recruiter of the Year Award goes to Soumik Raha and Jonathan Maurer. Soumik and John led the creation of a riveting 2019 DAAG program that for the first time brought together the disciplines of decision analysis and data sciences, which made a leap in new Sdp membership. In lieu of a live remark, John and Soumik prepared a short video acknowledging the large team who contributed to this great achievement, including those who had big influence on their careers. Congratulations, John and Soumik, and thank you for the great contributions to Sdp and the profession. Every year, Many SDP members dedicate their time, effort, and skills in support of a wide range of nonprofit and societal causes, including that of SDP, utilizing their decision support talent to advance a broad range of worthy missions. Such dedication is acknowledged in the Volunteer of the Year Award, which honors selfless, sincere, and durable contributions to SDP or to advancing societal progress through decision quality in civic, governmental, and nonprofit domains. It is my privilege today to announce the 2020 SDP Volunteer of the Year Award, which goes to Jay Anderson. Jay is known by many as the selfless and quiet soldier for good, who never hesitates to give his time and absolute dedication of his talent wherever he sees a need. His countless contributions to DAAG and SDP over more than 2 decades, especially during their founding and transition years, helped SDP thrive and reach its current sustainable path, serving hundreds of decision professionals and the many organizations to which they contribute. Jay is a mentor and a friend to many and is investing much of his current time in retirement and creativity into gamifying decision quality to help young adults understand and apply its basic principles. It is an absolute pleasure to recognize Jay, which I know goes against his grain, but I am sure this recognition will please many of the lives he touched over the years, including my own. At this time, I would like to invite Jay to reflect on his journey with DAAG and SDP over many years. Jay?
Thank you, Ias. I'm very honored to receive this award and humbled as well. As you mentioned, volunteering is something that's very important to me personally. To me, I find it's an opportunity to give back to those in need. But more than that, it's been a very personally fulfilling journey as well. For all those listening, I'd like to invite you, send an invitation to you to see if you can ask yourself what you can do to volunteer in your community, for your profession. For example, if you're enjoying this DAAG conference right now, we're going to be having plenty of opportunities for you to volunteer for next year's DAAG conference. Also, our society needs your help as well. So think of what time you have and how it might be able to help our profession. So, Ias, thank you once again for this honor, and I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Jay. The honor is definitely ours. And congratulations again. And last but not least, we introduce the Pioneer Award. This is the most prestigious SDP award reserved to those who made indelible contributions over an extended period of time that helped the profession of decision analysis take root, develop its core practices, and extend its utility to new areas. Winners of this award are truly pioneers of the profession who blazed trails that thousands followed over decades, the likes of Ron Howard, Carl Kiesler, and Jim Matheson. It is my pleasure to announce that the 2020 SDP Pioneer Award goes to Howard Rafa and Ralph Keaney. Howard and Ralph pioneered the value-focused approach, one of the pillars of the DA profession, and codified its principles in numerous accessible and easy to understand books that help thousands navigate complex professional, organizational, societal, and personal decisions over decades, with exemplary applications in policymaking and societal progress. Keaney's most recent book, Give Yourself a Nudge, melds the prescriptive decision analysis principles with the growing knowledge of the psychology of decision-making and behavioral economics, meeting everyday decision makers where they are rather than where they should be. This award is given in memory of Howard, who is no longer with us, a reminder of the great life, memories, and contributions Howard left with us. Accepting this award today, we have Ralph Keaney and another of Rafa's students, Jeff Kiesler, to reflect on Howard's career journey and the contributions Ralph and Howard made to our profession. Ralph, I would like you to reflect with us in a few moments.
It's certainly an honor to receive the Pioneer Award of the Society of Decision Professionals, and it's even especially so to receive it with Howard. Howard was the person who most affected my professional life, and I was extremely fortunate as he was my doctoral dissertation advisor, my mentor, a colleague, a friend, and basically a member of my family and vice versa for 50 years. And we had an awful lot of fun and enjoyment. I first became interested in decision analysis as my first year getting a master's at MIT. And at that time, I thought decision analysis was what I'd say is the back end. You do the analysis. People could say what their decision problem is, what their objectives are, and what the alternatives they would like to consider are, and then you could do a decision analysis and help them out. Well, I learned that's just not so. Individuals do not understand the decisions they should be facing in many, many cases, and they certainly can't, for complex problems, list all of their objectives or identify all of the alternatives that might be useful to consider. And creating one alternative better than those on the table can often have more impact than any analysis whatsoever, naturally, if you choose that alternative. So to learn about the real world, I resigned from MIT after being on the faculty 5 years and spent a decade working a couple years for an international institute in Austria, and then 7 years at a consulting firm of about 700 people in San Francisco. And I built the decision and risk analysis group there. That's where I really learned a lot about the front end of decisions. What is the decision? What are the objectives? What are the alternatives? And obviously a great solution to the wrong problem isn't a great idea. So my work the last 20 years has focused a lot on that front end. And as you mentioned, I've put down my latest thinking in as clear as possible, not one equation in the book, give yourself a nudge, how to deal with the front end of decisions, because I think people have a much better chance of doing that. And to show how that's important, each person would think, how many of your personal decisions have you done a complete decision analysis of in your life? The record is really going to be about 10 if you say complete. Now, we all think using the precepts and the ideas naturally, I think, in a decision analysis way. So we use it all the time, but we don't do the full-blown analysis very often. Knowing that that is extremely rare stresses the importance of that front end. And once you've clearly structured the front end, often you can make a pretty good decision. I call that a nudge, but it's just guiding someone to make a decision, providing insight to help them make a better decision. The same is the purpose of decision analysis. And if with that structure, it becomes clear that a decision analysis would be worthwhile, the value of that analysis would be much greater than it would have been with the wrong problem, obviously. So to conclude, I'd just like to again thank the Society for the recognition and award. Hope some of the ideas are useful to each of you on your decision making, and I look forward to seeing you next year at the conference of DAAG SDP. Thank you.
Thank you, Ralph. It's an honor for the Society to give this reward to you, and we appreciate the remarks that you made. Congratulations again. And now we turn to Jeff Kiesler, who will reflect on Howard Rafa's journey. Jeff is another student of Rafa, and he will share with us some of his contributions. Jeff, I turn to you.
Thank you. It's a great honor to accept this Hero Award on behalf of Howard Rafa and his family, as he was a hero to me and all my classmates. Today, I want to explain why. Howard was warm, approachable, and immensely thoughtful. He felt that decision analysis should be used widely, and he was an organization builder, so he would be delighted to see Sdp and DAAGs advancing its practice. It's amazing how he came to create all he did in decision analysis at all. After his service in World War II, Howard went to school at Michigan, and by the late 1940s was already doing important work in statistics and OR. At that time, statisticians had started to develop ideas like decision tables and were trying to overcome the shortcomings of classical statistics. Game theory was an exciting but esoteric new field, drawing strategists looking at business conflict and business competition with some awareness that one might also try to minimize maximum losses. Howard's book, Games and Decisions with Duncan Luce, updated the field and made it accessible. Howard conceived of a proto-decision analysis for games against nature in this book. From puzzles in game theory and statistical testing, Howard came to the realization that when faced with real decisions, we have to assign probabilities that are not explicitly provided. In memoirs, he wrote compellingly about how he became a Bayesian. Perhaps he was even the first Bayesian in the modern sense of treating subjective probabilities as just probabilities. He fought the battle to rebuild statistics with this understanding, and in the late 50s and early 60s, he led a Harvard Business School-based Manhattan project of statistical decision theory, the results of which are still my value of information Bible. In explaining to business students how you could actually use these theories, he came up with decision trees, primitive probability and utility techniques, featured in his famous white book, Decision Analysis, which introduced one or two generations of students to the field. All these contributions built the platform for Keaney and Rafa to launch multi-attribute utility theory, and that brings us halfway through his career. After his involvement in founding and leading organizations at YASA and the Kennedy School, he came to view negotiation as an important decision-related problem. His 1982 book lays out a field of negotiation science. He kept writing through the 2010s. One of his last books, Negotiation Analysis, published in 2003, envisions a unified field theory for the decision sciences. You can look up all his books. Every one of them will enrich your ability to apply decision analysis. We can all thank Howard Rafa for this legacy, a pioneer who showed us the way to better decisions.
Thank you, Jeff. Congratulations again to Howard Rafa, and if you may give congratulations to the family of Howard on our behalf. With that, I would like to congratulate again Somik, John, Jay, Howard, and Ralph for the Sdp Hero Awards of 2020. And as I leave you for the rest of the great DAAG 2020 program, I would like to thank the many minds who were the stewards of the process of identifying, deliberating, and selecting worthy winners of Sdp Awards. Thank you again, and enjoy the rest of the program.